In this video, I want to talk about the Kohinoor Diamond that British stole from India. This is the Kohinoor Diamond. You can see its photo. Now it's being worn by the British monarch. It's the main diamond on the crown of the British monarch. And to tell you the truth, this diamond was stolen in a very disgraceful and shameful manner by the British in India. And they are not telling this thing. In 2010, there were a lot of demand made by the people of India and Pakistan that the British should return the Kohinoor Diamond. So at that time, the British Prime Minister David Cameron point blankly refused. Oh, we have got it through a legal treaty. So I'll go to explain how illegal that treaty was, because that treaty was made with a 10-year-old boy. Treaty of Lahore, on a gunpoint. First, they tortured his mother, Mai Jandan, and then they forced her to tell her son to give them that this diamond Kohinoor. And now they're saying we have got it legally. So British have such a shameful history. These people are so racist, arrogant, and evil. And you might think why I'm making this video, because I am now seeing videos and I've seen documentaries in which they are trying to whitewash their crimes and tell the people that we are very good and our empire did a lot of good things. So I have decided to make a number of videos in which I'll show you how evil these people were, how shameful and disgraceful these people were. They were so greedy, and in Africa, the crimes that they committed in Kenya and Zimbabwe and South Africa, and the apartheid and racist societies that they created. I'll also make a video on that thing also. They should now own up, and they should be courageous enough to say, yes, we had made mistakes. Their empire didn't last 100 years even. It was the most evil empire, the most disgraceful thing in history. So let's come back to the Kohinoor Diamond. The Kohinoor Diamond was discovered in India in somewhere around the 11th or 12th century. It was the biggest diamond in the world. It was something like 105 carats. This diamond that you are seeing actually has been broken to three parts. It was even bigger than this photo. Queen Victoria, when she grabbed it, her stupid husband, he tried to make it, cut it, and in that cutting, they broke it into three parts. British went to India as traders. They were very poor, so they begged the Mughal Emperor Jahangir that please give us trading rights. We will just establish few trading posts. We are very poor people. They begged him. They just grabbed his feet and just begged. So he had mercy and they gave them. For 200 years they were traders. But in 18th century things started to unravel in India. First there was the Iranian invasion by Nader Shah, and he massacred the population in Delhi and looted the Kohinoor Diamond, took it with him to Iran, and with him lot of other wealth also. He took so much wealth from India that for 5 years he just made the country free of any taxes. And he paid the salary to his army through the selling those diamonds that he had looted from India. After that, Mughal Empire simply collapsed. There was no central government, and India divided into penny packet small states. And these people, stupid people, started fighting against each other. That was the time when the British saw like Saturn their chance to they can grab India. And then 1740, a British lord in Paris, he told the French, India belongs to us. So they had this dream, no, they saw with the clear eyes that India is in disarray. They are fighting among themselves, and like a devil, we can just now manage them, and they'll make them fight again and again, and they just grab everything. Well, so they started, they made this company, East India Company, which was the most evil and criminal company in the world. More, I'll make videos on that in the future also. East India, how much criminal and evil that company was. British in those days had criminal and evil mentality. They were poor and they were ready to grab anyone, and they were masters of slave trade, and they were using kidnapping Africans in millions, and they were just using them as animals to create wealth from themselves. All the day those black slaves, these African slaves will work in the fields, and they were so cruel, and they will make them work, and those African slaves will die young age in 1 or 2 years. They made them work. Now they don't talk about these things. They, oh, we are very civilized. We have just given this thing to the world. They have given nothing to the world. They are the most disgraceful and the most racist and the most evil people. So this is the Kohinoor Diamond. So in 1730, around about 1740, Nader Shah invades India and takes the Kohinoor Diamond with them to Iran. But the death of Nader Shah was basically murdered by one of his lieutenants. So this Kohinoor Diamond goes to Afghanistan and becomes the property of the Afghan king. In late something like 1770s, 80s, Shah Shuja of Afghanistan flees from Afghanistan on a rebellion, and he has got this Kohinoor Diamond in his turban. So he comes to Punjab, that kingdom, Sikh kingdom, and Sikh ruler Maharaja Ranjit Singh, he gives him asylum from. So there he lives in Ludhiana, and Kohinoor Diamond then passes to Maharaja Ranjit Singh. Kohinoor Diamond is very popular. Everybody talks about it. It's always worn by the kings. An interesting story about how Ranjit Singh got the Kohinoor Diamond is this, that his spies told him that Shah Shuja is hiding the Kohinoor Diamond in his turban. He never puts off his turban. He wears it all day, even during sleep also he wears the turban. He was a cunning man, Ranjit Singh, so he organized a grand reception and invited Shah Shuja with his entourage. Shah Shuja, by taking refuge with the Sikh Empire, had in fact become an hostage of the Sikh Empire. So in that huge reception, before taking food, Ranjit Singh announced, "We both have become brothers, and in our culture, the brotherhood ceremony means that you put your turban on my head and I put my turban on your head." So this is how he took hold of Kohinoor Diamond. British had been hearing all these stories, and like devils, they were making their plans, and all their conquest in India was bribery, deception, lies, what they call chikanri, and they are still hiding so many things about their history in India and other places. They have not declassified everything. They have shameful history. And their empire was the most evil empire in human history. It was an empire of dust. Now nobody remembers British in India. They were the most disgraceful people. Nobody remembers them here. So British had this idea that they should grab this Kohinoor diamond. They were greedy people basically. Racist, evil, arrogant, greedy, whatever you call them. This is the truth. This is what they were. I'm not talking about the present generations, but those generations were really like that. Sorry to say that. And they had no sympathy for other people. They would kill just to grab something. I've told you how they had treated the Africans, and when there was a rebellion, then anybody who stood up against them would be declared terrorist. He's a terrorist, and he's a terrorist. So who is terrorist? They themselves were terrorists basically. When a colonial master calls you a terrorist, it means you are a freedom fighter. Remember this saying. So their rule in India was the most disgraceful and shameful thing that India had ever seen. This is the truth. I'll tell you more in videos also, famines and all the crimes that these people committed and all. They are trying to whitewash them, and their authors like William Dalrymple and Niall Ferguson. They are trying to say, "Oh, we were very good, and India developed that because of it." It is the other way around. India developed after independence, not before that. So their war starts on the death till Ranjit Singh was alive. East India Company, the most evil and criminal company in the world, was afraid to fight with the Sikh Empire. But when he died, infighting started in the Sikhs. So as usual, like a devil, they bought three very important people in the British and the Sikh Empire, bribed them, made them promises that we will look after your 7 generations. One was Lal Singh, other was Tej Singh, and third was Gulab Singh Dogra. So through using them, they defeated the Sikh. These three traitors were working. They had secret communication with the British. They have been bribed heavily. The British have promised them huge estates and so much wealth that the 7 generations will live in wealth. This is the truth of British, how disgraceful these people were. So the after Ranjit Singh, there was infighting and for the ruler. Ultimately, it fell to my Jandan and our son, who was just 10 years old. So after the defeat of the Sikh in the first Anglo-Sikh war, these mother and son, they ran away. Now, British were very concerned that they had taken their Kohinoor Diamond there, but they don't even own it, but they had decided in the imagination that we are the real owners. So first they somehow arrested the mother, tortured her, and then they told her that the only way that we can free you is that your son gives us the Kohinoor Diamond. So this is how they grabbed the Kohinoor Diamond from a 10-year-old boy and made him and forced him to sign this Treaty of Lahore. And now, what do you think? What's the legal sanctity of a treaty that was signed by a 10-year-old boy at gunpoint? Does any legal will any legal court hold this treaty? I don't think so. But now they still have the guys that in 2010 David Cameron said, we had made a legal treaty and we are the rightful owners of that treaty. Whatever they steal, they have some treaty behind it. And that treaty, if you make your do some reading and research, you'll find all those treaties are dubious and ill. And basically, they have been made on gunpoint under duress and threat. So this is the history of British, shameful history of British. and the king is still wearing the Kohinoor Diamond, telling the world, "I am the most powerful king." He is no more powerful, and history is going to record the British as the most shameful, disgraceful, racist, and evil people. Their empire was the most evil empire in human history, and whatever the British authors now try to do to hide the crimes, they will not be able to hide the crimes. In the future videos, I'll tell you how the British committed genocide in Kenya, South Africa, Zimbabwe, and they created racist apartheid regimes, racist apartheid societies. They grabbed the land of the poor Africans, and through those poor Africans into poverty and grab their land, become big landlords. And BBC is again trying to portray that these racist regimes were very good. So be aware of BBC. I hope you like this video.